Welcome back, book babes. If you are new here, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. I am Brianna, and this is my channel. So today we are getting into a new type of video for me. This is a reading vlog, but this is a buddy reading vlog. My friend Sara and I decided we do buddy reads every month, if not multiple times a month. So we decided with the new Emily Henry book dropping late last month that we were going to read it together. So she and I read Great Big Beautiful Life together and periodically checked in and shared thoughts with each other. And it was a really fun experience. I really enjoyed it. And you're going to get to see us discussing the book. There's some thoughts from me here and there. I hope you enjoy. Let's get into it.
Hey everybody, so I am Sara, and I'm sure that you've heard murmurings of me throughout Brianna's other videos. I'm the best friend, and I live in another state than Brianna right now. Hopefully not for too much longer, but we decided to do a buddy read. Well, we always do buddy reads, but we decided to do a vlog buddy read, and she has sent me a package and requested that I open it on camera. So I told her that she should be aware that I might curse because that's just me in a nutshell, but I have a feeling that it's going to make me laugh too. So here we go. I already have it open. Just haven't looked at it yet. How did I know? So this is our buddy read. So I am a working mom of one who keeps me super busy. And so I have a hard time reading physical books. But I told Brianna that for this buddy read, it would be cool to have the book, the physical book, since we're doing it together, and annotate so that I can actually keep track of what I'm reading instead of just listening to an audiobook like I always do. I always do audiobooks, and then while we're driving in the car to Taekwondo, or while I'm cooking dinner or cleaning the house, that's just what's easiest for me. So it takes me a while to get through a buddy read. So this is her way of forcing me to read it quickly. She's a shit. All right. I'm looking forward to talking more about this book and seeing what it's all about. Thank you, guys.
Why, yes, Sara. Why, yes, I am a shit. Can read and listen. You know, you listen and you annotate. It'll be so much faster. It's going to be great. I love you. Okay. So, as we know, you have read all of her books, and I have not.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you put some thought into what your ranking is. So I am curious, what is your ranking?
I was going to see if I could find them again and see if I could remember which one at least was my first.
Hold on. Where'd Zoom go? Share. Okay, so we have the following. So we've got People We Meet on Vacation, Beach Read, Happy Place, Book Lovers, and Funny Story.
Because I really did like, which one was it that she was talking about? I want to say it was Happy Place, and then like you and I talked about it, and then you sent that video, and I was like, oh, they have some good points.
'Cause this is the one where they're broken up, but they can't tell all their friends because they're going to their happy place for the last time or something like that.
Right. But then, like, the more I thought about it, it's like they're not as good of friends as they used to be. So that kind of puts a damper on it. Um, and then Beach Read, I liked because I liked the back and forth between the two of them. Um, and there
And
was
this
good
is
banter in that one.
and this is what the one where they switch genres and write each other.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep, yep.
Then what's People We Meet on Vacation?
People We Meet on Vacation is when she has the friend that she's had forever and ever, and then she's finally like, I need to tell him, and they like haven't talked for a while.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, yeah.
And I didn't really care for that one too much. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't on the top for
Well,
sure.
and then we got Book Lovers.
Um, Book Lovers is whenever it's a literary agent and um I don't know, are they both literary? No, a literary agent and an editor. And he is from where they meet, which is like a small town, North Carolina.
Oh.
Um, and it was okay. I thought it wasn't bad, but um, I think there was a lot of hit or miss on that one as well, as far as like if people liked it or not.
And then, of course, we know what Funny Story is.
Right. Which I thought that one was good too.
I liked Funny Story a lot. I thought it was really
Hmm.
cute. Um,
Which we continue to get confused with Funny Feelings.
that's Tara DeWitt.
Title wise.
That's
Title
Tara DeWitt.
wise.
That's Tara DeWitt's fault, not mine. But no, story-wise, not at all.
No.
Um, so would you say
I
okay,
think Funny Story would be top.
so Funny Story is number
Hmm.
one. It sounds
And
like Beach Read
then,
would be your number two then.
yeah, yeah.
This one sounds like that's the bottom of the barrel. People We Meet
Mhm.
on Vacation. Okay. So then what's three and four between these two?
Maybe Happy Place Them Book Lovers.
Okay. So we got so Funny Story, Beach Read, Happy Place Book Lovers, People We Meet on Vacation.
Hmm.
Is that your final answer?
Hmm.
That'll be interesting to when I go into them. Because of course, I'll be
To see
updating
where you're at.
and see how I feel about them. Because you're
Hmm.
right. Like I was just watching someone, I think it was today, that they were reading Great Big Beautiful Life, or they were talking about Emily Henry books. I don't remember which, but they were talking about how hit or miss she is for them. And I see that
Hmm.
with a lot of people.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think even like the ones that are misses, they're not like awful, terrible books. It's
Oh.
just not like a five level.
So with this book, what are you expecting? Like, especially compared to the other ones, because we know everybody's talked about how different this one is.
Hmm. Um, I think that I'm worried how the romance will play into it.
Yeah, because that's the thing I think I've heard the most criticism about is that. So I think that's the biggest thing that I've heard about is like the romance that. um, Any other thoughts before we dive in?
Uh, not that I can think of.
Hmm, okay.
No, 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 no way. Oh my God.
Knock it off.
Mind your own business.
I would love to. But now I'm wondering if all that gasping is about something I've already read or something coming up.
I'm on page 312.
Don't tell me that. Now I know there's a gasp coming in 20 pages.
I've got the book. I've got my tabs. I've got my clear Post-its. I've got my pen. I've got my highlighter. And another highlighter.
I'm ready! I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm ready and I'm going to start reading. So. So I am just a little bit over 25% into this book. I am really liking this because I'm not taking it as a romance. I'm just taking it as more general literature, like a general lit fit book. And I'm really, really liking it. What I'm not liking is the main male character. Like, he was redeeming himself there for a minute, and then he lost all the points he gained. He's a big, huge turd. So, that's all I have to say about him so far. I swear to God, he's just dry as toast, bland as oatmeal, uncooked rice, uncooked white rice. Anyway, I shall continue on. I am in, well, it really doesn't have a chapter, it's just the story. But I'm getting up on chapter 12. But I'm really, really liking this so far. I'm enjoying it a lot. Oh, okay. Like, going midway through the book, like to the 50%, did anything like stand out to you?
I think that I really do enjoy the relationship between Jody and Margaret.
Mm.
And I really liked her. I'm looking at my notes. I really liked her story. And I think like even though it's been like a slow build up, I can't figure out which direction her part of the story is going to go because she started so far back.
Jody or Margaret?
Margaret.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, Jody's story? Jody doesn't have a story.
No.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Even though Jody's story would be interesting too, I'm sure, because she seems like she's like doesn't put up with Margaret's shit. But like we predicted, it does give loosely give Evelyn Hugo vibes, but it's definitely different because the story is completely different.
That's why I really liked like Margaret's parts where she's giving the story. I like that more than like everything else so far.
Yeah. And one thing that surprised me is not having Hayden's perspective in it.
I know, because weren't the other ones each? Well, hold on. I've got them right here. Let me look.
I was gonna say that's a good question.
Are we just assuming that because like every other book we read is like that, or was this one like that?
Well, I think I assumed it because
Oh no, funny story was just her perspective too.
yeah, I think the reason why I anticipated it that way, like you said, maybe it's because we read other books that are like that. But the fact that it was Margaret's story, I thought maybe we'd hear Hayden and how he heard Margaret's story too.
Yeah.
I guess. But then I guess it would be a huge book. So
Me, it was just straight up assumption.
yeah. I just assumed it too.
Um, well, speaking of Hayden, who I wrote Henry on
Oh,
my notes, I was like, Henry question mark, which will help answer my part of this question. But how do you feel about that romance, like between them two building?
I go back and forth. So there's times where I'm like, oh, he's an idiot. I don't even like him. Why did he say that? And then there's times where he does things like whenever he rescues her from
That guy.
the drunk guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, there's a good guy. Just automatically seeing what's going on and just swooping right in and just fixing it.
Yeah, this is why I've got a tab that's basically ugh men for just him. And then a tab for redeeming himself, which is a lot less.
Tabs.
Yeah. But also, like, my commentary is he dry as toast? Because I thought this was a great joke. Um, oh, there we go. Okay. Then where'd you grow up? I ask. Indiana, he says. Did you like it? His brow sinks into a scowl, his wide mouth still keeping an utterly straight line. Why? I laugh. What do you mean, why? Why would you want to know if I liked growing up in Indiana? He says, his face and voice perfectly matched in surliness. I fight a smile because I'm considering buying it. His eyes narrow, irises seeming to darken. Buying what? Indiana, I say. I thought that was an amazing joke. And
Right.
he's just sitting there with a stick up his ass.
Yep.
And on page 39, all I had to say was, he's an ass.
Because I made a note on page 39 too. I made a note that I couldn't get a good read on him. And now halfway through, I feel like I still don't have a great read on him, or how I feel about his character. But like, I feel like she's kind of like slowly getting him to talk more about himself. And I'm like, what is it going to take to drag any personality out of this man?
Well, needless to say, your notes were much more in depth than mine were. What is Margaret hiding? She's a shady, shady. She's hiding something.
Right. So my notes on that, I put that I'm truly not sure if I can guess what she's hiding because the last chapter, she had said something of the effect that she's not been truthful about the past before her, but that she seems to be truthful about her own story. So that was like Alice recounting, like thinking about what Margaret has told her, like she's hiding things about the past and about people of the past that she's talking about, but the more she starts getting towards Margaret telling her own story, that Alice feels like maybe she's telling more truths. So I'm like, so what is it that she kept that she might be keeping? And then another piece that I put was, um, Margaret had said she's breaking a promise or keeping a promise or something like that.
Oh, because she had made a promise and that person kicked it before she could tell them she went back on it. So now she has to.
Yes, 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 yes. That's what it was.
Anything else? Oh, anything else about the mid recap?
One thing that I really like about books is when I feel like I'm like in the book or there with them, right? But it takes, for me, it's like I always crack a smile or um like my heart gets warm whenever there's like specific descriptions of things that I'm like, oh, that's cool how they worded that, or um, just cool how to think of how it was written. So one of my favorite things is when she's at the fishbowl restaurant and she's talking about the big drink, the big blue drink.
Yes.
And then like a couple days later, I sent you a picture while I was out to eat, and I was like, "Oh my God, they're drinking the big blue drink. Look at it. It's just not. It's got the wrong colored straw." So, but this is how she describes it in the book. So this is Alice speaking. "I take a tiny sip through the neon pink straw, and it feels like I just inhaled sugar, then poured gasoline down my throat, but in a fun way."
That was good. So, I have a surprise.
Oh, okay.
Oh, are you ready?
Is it a neon pink straw?
Better. They're fish bowls for when you come. And they're made because we can't do big fish bowls.
Oh, you know, we can pretend.
And they're fish bowls.
Those are so cute.
Yeah, and they come with little straws and everything.
Yes. Ooh, and umbrellas?
No, we'll have to get umbrellas. But I was really excited to show this to you.
That's hilarious. That is not what I was anticipating when you said that.
So, yes. So we'll be able to have our own blue sugary gasoline drinks when you come in a
Girls
week.
night, girls night, girls night.
I'm in the home stretch. I have 66 pages left of this book. I'm going to finish it. I am going to be done with it today. Sara, I know, is not reading. She has family in town, and she's going to Post Malone tonight. See, my niece is like 8, and she's a huge Post Malone fan, so that's what she got for her birthday back in November. Me, no, I'm too old for that crap. My first concert was NSYNC when I was 16. Them's were the days. I am old, if you did not know. Now you do. Anyway, let's get down into the nitty-gritty and finish this. Well, the picture that what's his nuts dry toast requested makes sense now. I just got to that part and interesting. Why are they all in the same town, like that same small town? This, I think, reaffirms to me that her is it Julie? I want to say Julie. Jody. I think Jody is Laura. I think I'm right. I'm never right, though, so I say that with a grain of salt. Anyway. About time they started working together. Dum-dums. This whole time he's been dead set on not saying anything, blah, blah, blah. And now suddenly they have this common vested interest in, like, why is Cecil here? Or is Jody her niece? That would also make sense because Cecil is in the same town, and I just read that her sister had the baby Interesting. Maybe her sister's dead because nobody's seen her in years. Or is she still a recluse? Is this baby Margaret's baby? Like, seriously? If that is like a big twist, I don't know how I feel about that. That's where that went? That I have is, what in the hell do you think overall?
Overall, I did like the story. I think we both agreed that their romance could have been different. I think that what happened, are we allowed to say exactly
Oh
what
yeah, we're
happened?
full spoilering it.
Okay.
I'm gonna make sure this is like a full spoiler vlog.
So my anticipation from the beginning, right, not like absolutely beginning, but like towards the beginning was, oh, the ending. From the beginning, I'm like, okay, obviously there has to be a twist. What's the twist, right? Like
Yes.
always trying to figure out the twist. My thought was the opposite because I thought, oh, she decided to give her a chance because she kept asking, and somehow Alice is related to Margaret.
How did that even, didn't even remotely cross my mind that either of them would be related to her.
So my thought was, okay, she's wanting to write this story, and Hayden is really well known because he wrote that other celebrity story.
Yeah.
So somebody said, hey, you should hire Hayden, but then she like knew that Alice was related to her and wanted to learn more about her. That was my whole thing. And then whenever they were like, no, it's actually Hayden, I'm like, wait, what? And then my brain was like, well, no shit, it's Hayden. He didn't even search for her. And then he's like up for the job.
N- I don't know what I was anticipating for a twist, but it wasn't even remotely close to that at all. I thought, because then the guy, so the picture of
Yes.
Captain Bob, that's not his name, but that's exactly what I think of. No, Captain Ron, that was the
Oh,
movie.
Captain Ron.
Captain Ron, wasn't that Kurt Russell?
Yes.
I picture Kurt Russell with like really long hair, and yeah,
Right.
that's who officially that is my fan cast. Anyway, no, like when that came out, I was thinking it was going to be something with her sister, and because they're like, no one's seen her sister, and so I was thinking too that Jody was her sister, but had just
Mm-hmm.
changed her name because she didn't want all the hype.
Mm-hmm.
But that twist, I hated it so.
Ah.
That took the book from a 5 straight down to a 4. And then there are other things that lowered it even more for me, but we'll get there.
Why did it why did the twist drop it for you from a 5 to a 4?
I just thought it was so stupid. Like suddenly Hayden's your grandson and you gave up your daughter for adoption because oh my gosh, no, she can't grow up in all of this. That was the twist.
So the
And
secret wasn't what you expected.
no, and it fell flat for me. Like it didn't help.
Yep, just like the captain of the ship is the doctor. That one I was like, okay.
That was a kind of a reach, like, but okay, I'll allow it because it makes sense that like, Oh, I lost all this time with my sister and I have to reunite.
About the cult stuff. Was it to your liking?
I wanted more
That's
of that.
quite short.
It was. And I'm all like, wait, this is the cult stuff? I thought she was going to be in a cult. And so I was kind of left wanting more with that. But I think that's just my own bias.
Right.
Having been in one myself. Oopsie. Always the polygamists. I can have multiple wives because I'm apparently blessed with a magical dick. It's all the same. Waco, Joseph Smith, Warren Jeffs. I mean, they all think highly of their penises. Dudes, it's not that good. It's probably small too. Them's my thoughts on it. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I feel like it was quite short as well. I mean, obviously, it's not the biggest part of the story by any means, but she like went into so much depth about older generations
Yeah,
and then kind of glossed over that part. So I
glossed
don't
over a
know.
lot of her life.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you all about these guys,
Mm-hmm.
which doesn't make sense because she wasn't the one that was related.
Alice,
Yeah, like, see,
she wasn't telling Hayden anything.
this is why I just want her story. Oh, I will say I don't hate it.
No, I didn't hate it.
No, I thought it was a good book.
There was one part I did hate.
What?
I fucking hate you, Emily Henry, but I'll still read your books. I can't remember exactly where it was, but there was parts of conversation between Alice and her mother that definitely hit hard and made me tear up.
But that's what I wanted that you didn't get to at the midpoint check-in. I really wanted to know like your thoughts on her mom. How do you feel about how it all like the happily ever after then with her mom and everything?
I don't know. It's hard because I don't want to put my own bias on it because they had a good conversation and a good talk about it. And it's hard not to compare.
It's hard not to be like, that's not realistic.
Very much so.
Because I'll be
So,
honest.
what's your thought?
I was just gonna say, because I'll be honest, that's exactly what I thought.
Well, I think
Because
I mean, if that is how the relationship's been, as long as you can remember,
yeah, I think it's the therapist in me
yeah,
where I'm just like, bullshit.
like
We're
all of
not,
a sudden one person finally blows up and the other person is like, "Oh, I'm so sorry.
that's
I didn't realize that."
I didn't know that's how I was behaving this entire time, your entire life. Oh
Right?
my
For
God.
the past
30
28,
years,
yeah, I don't know. I was like, I don't remember, 26, 27, however old she was.
30-ish
Yeah.
years, maybe. Yeah, bullshit.
Well, and I think not obviously all the relationships were the way they were because of her sister who had significant health issues.
And they didn't touch on that very much.
Mm-mm.
I think that's a critique I have about this book is that there was too much going on that could not be explored fully that way.
I think that's fair. Yeah, she might have been able to like cut back on the romance, take part a little bit, and then explored some of that other stuff further. I don't know.
I don't know either. What would you have changed if you had been writing this story? And
Uh,
I think we would have changed a lot, but I also don't know if it would have worked.
right. I think that's the hard part. Because, like you said, there's people that are like, oh, it needs to be all the romantic pieces of it, or more romance part, or no romance. And I don't know that it would work with with or without it. I think it needed to be in there in some capacity, but things could have possibly been written differently on Margaret's point of view and on the romantic piece.
She tried to do too much. And so you're going to be left with loose ends because it's not like we're watching a TV show.
Mm-hmm. It's fine. Not everything needs to be tied up with a little bow.
No. Which that's why I don't think I like the epilogue.
Oh, where he was it the epilogue? It was the part where he comes back for her? Or
And then suddenly they're happily married with, or I don't even know if they're married, but they have a baby
a
and
baby on the
he
way.
moves to Atlanta and
Yeah,
that was like putting a little bow on it. And I
I
don't,
forgot about that.
yeah, because that's one of the other questions is how do you feel about the very end? And like,
I would have cut the epilogue. I think the epilogue was too much. Most of the time, I don't mind them, but I feel like this book, it was like, it felt like a reach.
overall, how do you feel about the book?
I think
What,
it was a decent read. I think what I enjoyed about this buddy read in particular was that you got me a physical copy. So I struggle to read physical copies, but I was able to annotate a lot easier because usually when we're doing our buddy reads, it's hard for me. But so I have my little tabbies that I
oh, look at
did.
that. I know, look at that.
Um, and the green tabby is the halfway point. But
Oh, I was wondering what that was.
so I liked, even though it still took me a little bit to read it because I wanted to make sure I was actually tabbing it and I was paying attention whenever I was listening to it versus whenever I'm like listening to a book and cleaning the house and driving to Taekwondo or whatever.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that I was actually paying attention and doing quotes and stuff. So the blue ones are my quotes and the red ones are just like different moments of thought that I had within it. But this was whenever I was finishing it. I thought you would like this part during the quote where it says, "Ew, Dr. David."
So, what would you rate this one?
Probably like a 3.75 to a 4.
Same. So I would still recommend this, but Funny Story was better.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad read by any means. It
So
definitely had some good parts.
where would this squeeze in your rankings?
I think I would say Funny Story is still above it.
So
Um,
People We Meet on Vacation was dead last.
mm-hmm,
Is People We Meet on Vacation still dead last?
mm-hmm.
Um, then it was Book Lovers was 4 or 6.
Yeah, it was Book Lovers, then Beach
So
Read, then um, Happy Place. It'd probably be above Happy Place, so it'd probably be 2.
okay.
Nothing compares to you. Evelyn Hugo.
Can we expect another buddy read in the future? Are you like, no, I'm never filming with you again?
No, we're good. We can definitely do it again.
Mm.
Even though it takes me longer, I think that doing it with a book is a better idea because then I actually have stuff I can I can look back at it.
And there you have it, an intensive discussion, spoiler filled, of Emily Henry's Great Big Beautiful Life. I hope you enjoyed this video and the discussion between Sara and I. If you have read Emily Henry's Great Big Beautiful Life, let me know down below. What did you think? Did you totally disagree with us? Did you agree with us? I'm curious what your thoughts were. If not, if you haven't read it and you don't have anything to say, leave me the island emoji down below. If you've made it this far, you're a real one. This was my longest video yet. If you like this type of content, subscribe, stick around. Would love to have you. And we will see you next time. Bye, guys.